It's time again for Northwestern Outdoors Radio, the show covering fishing, hunting, and all sorts of outdoor recreation and destinations right here in the region you live and play in. Northwestern Outdoors is brought to you every week by Max Lure Company, makers of the world-famous wedding ring spinner, by Loophole, America's Optics Authority, and by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. Northwestern Outdoors is also sponsored by Wallowa County in Northeast Oregon, where you'll find both nature and fun. By Chad's Coastwide Sports Fishing, offering you the affordable Canadian fishing trip of a lifetime. And by Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors. So grab your fishing rod or hunting gear, load up the boat or lace up your boots, and let's head outdoors with your host, John Cruz.
You know, I think I can almost see spring from here. Chinook salmon anglers are starting to work the lower Columbia River. Trout anglers are getting busy in lowland lakes throughout the Northwest. And early spring hiking, especially in the deserts of eastern Washington and Oregon, is definitely an option. A couple of hikes I'd recommend right now include a jaunt along the Crooked River at Smith Rock State Park in Central Oregon, or a hike to the ancient lakes near Quincy, Washington, where you can check out a basalt cliff waterfall and do a little fishing to boot. Want more? It's a great time of year for wildlife viewing, bird watching, and even bike riding under often sunny skies and fair temperatures. In other words, I think maybe, just maybe, the worst of this very snowy winter may be behind us. We've got a fun show for you this weekend that was recorded at the Washington Sportsman Show in Puyallup. We'll start off by helping you with those summer vacation plans. How about this? Motoring around a 100-plus mile reservoir in eastern Washington with your family or friends and doing it in a houseboat, a luxurious houseboat to boot. Fishing, swimming, spending time on the beach, gazing at the stars at night. Sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? Well, you can do all of this with Lake Roosevelt Houseboat Vacations, and Vicki Ballard is going to tell you all about it. Bruce Warren, the owner of Fishing for Fun Guide Service, breaks down Cowlitz River steelhead fishing during an extended Max Minute, and then we're going to talk with George Joyner with the Pacific Northwest Gordon Setter Club about these rare but good-looking hunting dogs you've probably not seen in the field before. Following that, we've got outdoor news from around the Northwest, some of it focusing on the illegal introductions of fish into waters they don't belong in. And then we're going to chat with Wanda Clifford. She's the executive director of the Inland Northwest Wildlife Council, and they put on the Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show every March. As a matter of fact, it's taking place March 17th through the 20th this year at the Spokane County Fairgrounds, and there's a whole bunch to see there you're going to want to hear about. In addition to this, we'll let you know about some free seminars taking place over the next week at a Sportsman's Warehouse store near you, and of course, we'll give away that $25 gift card from Sportsman's Warehouse during our Trivia Question of the Week. This week's topic? Let's just say it involves clams. Before we get any deeper into this broadcast, though, David Sparks has another edition of Sportsman Spotlight for you. This week's topic, rifle-mounted flashlights. Are they necessary? Well, if you're a rancher with a coyote problem, they might come in handy. They're also useful for home defense and tactical purposes. Sportsman Spotlight is sponsored every week by Chad's Coastwide Sports Fishing out of Port Hardy, British Columbia. If you want to take advantage of the incredible exchange rate to book a quality, all-inclusive saltwater fishing adventure, now is the time to do so, because I don't think you'll ever see better rates than you'll find right now. Find out more at coastwidesportsfishing.com.
Lighting up the night, David Sparks with Sportsman's Spotlight. Talked with John Engelstrom at the gift bar at Sportsman's Warehouse about flashlights. He told me that he sells a flashlight that you can mount on your rifle, which typically does not have any hunting application other than, let's assume that you're a rancher and coyotes and other varmints are raising the dickens with your herd at night. It would be pretty handy to have a flashlight mounted on a rifle so that you could, and I'll say this in quotes, take care of the situation. John's most popular flashlights are the Phoenix, and it's either the EU35 or the PD35. And it can be powerful, goes all the way up to 960 lumens. But upon further probing with my knowledgeable sales associate, he pointed out another application for a mounted flashlight.
It's a tactical flashlight. I sell them mostly to guys who are going to be mounting them to their ARs, their rifles, the assault rifles. They have little mounts that you can mount them right to your rifle. Close combat. I sell them to a lot of the police officers. I sell them to guys that are doing close combat training, kind of aspects. And then self-defense at home, or a flashlight on your home defense weapons, always a great idea.
Very good idea. Only on rifles, you can't mount them on a pistol.
Any gun rail it'll take, as long if your pistol has a gun rail on it, which most of them don't. But yeah, it's mainly guys are mounting them to their ARs that are doing tactical training. And one of my guys over in camping, he has an AR, and him and a couple buddies go out to the target ranges and they do close combat training just for something to do, basically.
Pretty slick, pretty handy, don't you think? This is David Sparks for Sportsman Spotlight.
A quality and affordable fishing adventure is waiting for you off Vancouver Island with Chad's Coast-Wide Sports Fishing. Located in Port Hardy, British Columbia, you can drive or fly to your all-inclusive guided fishing vacation. Whether you're after big salmon, heart-fighting halibut, or a cooler full of red snapper and lingcod, you can catch it all here. Better yet, your lodging, meals, and fish processing are all taken care of. Want one more reason to go? The price. With the Canadian dollar exchange rate where it is right now, your U.S. dollar goes further. Space is limited, so go to coastwidesportsfishing.com to book your trip. That's coastwidesportsfishing.com for an incredible BC fishing adventure.
It's almost time for the best indoor-outdoor adventure show. Yes, it's the annual Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show. Coming soon, March 17th through the 20th at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center in Spokane. Backed by popular demand this year is Duck Dog, sponsored by Ziggy's Building Materials. Go online to bighornshow.com to see the competition schedule or to register your dog. Christy Titus will be on site doing elk call demonstrations. Enter for your chance to win lunch with Christy Titus. Plus tons more information at bighornshow.com.
So you're probably thinking about summer vacations already, and maybe, well, let me throw this thought at you. How about having your own private yacht and exploring miles and miles of unspoiled lakefront wilderness and doing it under sunny skies? You're with your family or you're with your friends, spending several days on this boat, spending the days fishing, spending the days swimming, spending the days just enjoying the wildlife and nature, and at night looking up at the stars. Well, you know what? You can do that. You can do that right here in the Northwest. As a matter of fact, you can do it at Lake Roosevelt. And with us here to tell you about a houseboat vacation is Vicki Ballard with Lake Roosevelt Houseboat Vacations. Vicki, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Vicki, let's go ahead and talk first off about the location where everyone's recreating around where you have your business, and that's Lake Roosevelt. It's an impoundment of the Columbia River, but it's a lot more than that.
Yes, we're located on the very north end of the lake, and there is tons of privacy. Beautiful beaches are sandy. We've got some great coves and a place to get away from everybody.
And you're up there by Kettle Falls. And folks, if you're an angler, there's really good fishing in Lake Roosevelt. We've been telling you recently about fishing for kokanee, fishing for rainbow trout. There's also walleye in good portions of this reservoir too, and other species too. And Lake Roosevelt, it's a great swimming lake in the summer, isn't it?
Yes, we'd like to go a little bit later in the year because it is snowpack runoff. So June is a little chilly, but it gets incredible, 72 degrees sometimes. So that's perfect.
So let's talk about a houseboat vacation. And I guess we'll start off with the houseboats themselves, because these aren't your basic party barges by any means.
No, some of them have 5 bedrooms, and then we have 2 models that have 4 bedrooms. They have hot tubs, fully equipped kitchens, 2 bathrooms. They all have water slides and a lot of room in them, and it's just like being at home.
So how big are these houseboats, and how much experience do you need to operate one?
They're actually, our biggest one that has the 5 bedrooms is 64 foot. The ones with 4 bedrooms are 62 foot. And preferably you don't have a whole lot of experience, because when we do your orientation, we take you through how to operate it, and people usually listen a little bit better on how to operate.
That's right. You don't want their bad habits from what they think they know. So that makes a lot of sense. So you have these houseboats that have basically all the luxuries of home. They've got the kitchen, they've got the bathrooms, they got the bedrooms, you got the slide. You can, hang out upstairs on the deck. You can hang out down below if you want to stay warm or if the weather's not perfect. And you're just kind of putting around the lake, or do a lot of people just kind of find a cove and anchor up and spend a good portion of a week there?
It's a combination of both. Some people just find a beach that they really like, and it's their own private little oasis. And so they'll just park the boat on the beach and we show you how to do the tie-up so you're secure. Other people like to travel the lake a lot more. So it's all up to you, and we have maps. We tell you where to go, where to stay away from, and just enjoy your vacation.
For those who don't know, how big is Lake Roosevelt? How much water can you actually cover here in your houseboat?
The lake is 150 miles long, and there's 600 miles of shoreline. And since it's Park Service properties, nobody owns anything on the lake, so you can basically go anywhere you want to.
Sounds fantastic. Sounds just like an awesome vacation to me. So let's go ahead and talk about something else. We've talked about the basic houseboat. I think people are going to be excited about that. Let's talk about the accessories, because a lot of times, you're not going to be wanting to fish out of a 64-foot houseboat necessarily. Do people bring along kayaks, canoes? Do you rent smaller boats? How do you accommodate those needs?
A lot of people will bring their own boats. We have 18-foot Sea Rays that we rent. We also have kayaks, paddle boards, wakeboards, and you can tow them, your home personal boats or our boats behind yours, the houseboat. And we have refueling stations, so you don't have to go find a marina somewhere. Since we are very secluded, the closest marina is like 60 miles away from us. So it's a convenience that our boats offer for you. And it is nice that you can park your boat. If you have another boat you can, put around the lake, you see another place that you like better and you can move your boat. Or if you are the early raiser, and the kayaks are really, really nice because you can get up, get in a kayak and kind of go around and go fishing, or you can fish off the houseboats.
Again, this sounds like an absolutely fabulous trip. I'm guessing you get a lot of repeat customers.
Most of our customers are repeat or word of mouth.
You're listening to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We're talking about houseboat vacations on Lake Roosevelt in eastern Washington, and the person who's telling us about it is Vicki Ballard. She's the cruise coordinator for Lake Roosevelt Houseboat Vacations. So let's go ahead and talk about the trip itself. When you book one of these vacations, what length are we talking about, and what's the cost?
Our normal days are either 3-day, 4-day, or 7-day. And the cost is going to vary. We have 2 different seasons. We have a value season and a prime season. So the prices are really going to vary a lot. If you have any questions, you can give us a call, and I can always send out brochures or go over prices.
So let's just go low end, high end. If you booked at the very busiest time and got the top of the line houseboat, where you basically can accommodate up to 13 people, how much are you talking about for that high end trip?
The very biggest boat that has the 5 bedrooms for prime season, a 7-day, is going to be $79.95. They hold 13 people, so when you calculate that, it comes out to a pretty reasonable vacation.
Right, and that's what's important here, because when you first look at those prices, folks, you're going to think to yourself, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. But when you're dividing it among a dozen people, it becomes very affordable very quickly. Now, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. What's your smallest boat, and during your value season, how much can you book a week for?
$36.95 for a 7-day on a super cruiser without a hot tub.
So basically about half of what we just talked about.
Right.
So there you go. And let's talk about the super cruisers. It's not like those are shabby. I mean, they don't have a hot tub, but they've still got a lot going for them.
Well, some of them do have hot tubs. They're just a little bit smaller boat, and they have 4 bedrooms rather than the 5, but equally as nice of a boat.
So there you go. Anywhere from $3,600 to just under $8,000 for a 7-night cruise on Lake Roosevelt. That's not a bad deal, folks. And again, it's secluded, it's beautiful, there's great fishing, there's great boating, there's lots of wildlife to see. And more often than not, you're going to have summers. And more often than not, you're going to have sunny skies and beautiful temperatures in those summer months. Let's go ahead and give folks a website so they can find out more about booking a houseboat vacation on Lake Roosevelt.
It's very easy. It's just www.lakeroosevelt.com.
That's lakeroosevelt.com, lakeroosevelt.com for Lake Roosevelt Houseboat Vacations. How long have you been in business now?
28 years.
That's staying power, folks. And the reason they've been in business 28 years is because people keep coming back and people keep discovering how much fun they can have on a houseboat on Lake Roosevelt. Vicki, thanks for telling us all about this on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Looking for the ultimate cooking machine for your backyard or patio? Look no further than Camp Chef's new pellet grill and smoker. With user-friendly features like an auto ignition, digital readouts, and internal meat temperature sensors, it's easy to smoke the tastiest salmon, ribs, brisket, and turkey you'll ever eat. And an innovative system makes cleanup a snap. Everyone will want the food you're cooking on your Camp Chef pellet grill and smoker. The quality smoker that's second to none. Find out more at campchef.com. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
If you've ever been fishing in Mexico, you know how good it can be, and now you can fish there with the Real News. Take your choice of a trip to Baja's East Cape for roosterfish, marlin, and dorado. These trips are value priced, so you can stretch your dollars in fun. To find out more about fishing Mexico with the Real News, log on to therealnews.com or call 425-334-8966. Again, that's therealnews.com or 425-334-8966. For an incredible adventure.
Leupold has been building optics in Oregon since 1907, and Leupold binoculars bring excellent optical performance and modern styling to the serious outdoorsman. Whether you're a boater, birder, backpacker, or hunter, Leupold's state-of-the-art binocular lines are sure to fit your needs. From the Poro Prism Yosemite series to the top-of-the-line McKinley Roof Prism, Leupold has a product that is perfect for the passions you pursue. Visit Leupold.com or your local Cabela's, Bi-Mart, or Dick's Sporting Goods to see the full line of Leupold optics.
It doesn't matter what sort of adventure you're after, whether it's big game deep in the backcountry, a day of fishing out in the water, or an overnight in the great outdoors. At Sportsman's Warehouse, we've got the gear in here for what you need out there. Gear up for your next adventure at one of the Sportsman's Warehouse stores or shop online. Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter.
You're back with more of the great outdoors on Northwestern Outdoors Radio with John Cruz.
It's time for another Max Minute.
Fish on!
Brought to you every week by Max Lure Company. With us here today is Max Pro Guide Bruce Warren. He is the owner of Fishing for Fun Guide Service. And Bruce, right now you're fishing for winter steelhead on the Cowlitz. What's the drill? How are you getting them in the boat?
Well, usually we're down there, John. We're side drifting for these critters. We're using great bait, and we're using those Max pill floats that kind of float it a little bit. 5.5, 6.5 foot leader, side drifting, because you can cover lots of water that way. 2 number 4 hooks, and you are going to be in the fish.
So let me ask you two things about the hooks and about the eggs and the cure that you're using for them. When it comes to the hooks, are you a big believer in the red hooks or any special breed of hooks?
Not special breed of hooks, nor color of hooks, but use the best hook you can possibly afford. You can get away with inexpensive line as long as it's fresh, inexpensive rod and reels as long as they work and are good quality working condition. But boy, hooks are what connects you with that fish. That is what makes you the money. You need a good hook. Okay, and let's talk about the cure. What do you prefer? Well, I do make up my own cure, and I use that about 90% of the time, but there's some very good commercial cures out available. ProCure has some great stuff, and another company that I deal with is called Bomac, and they have a great cure out also. Last but not least, it sounds like your little secret weapon is those pill floats. I'm assuming you're using those to kind of just get that off the bottom a little bit. You bet. We just lift that eggs off the bottom because eggs naturally will sink, so they'll bounce along the bottom, which some steelhead like that. But if you use a pill float on there, it raises them up, gets them right in the strike zone, and it's just fish on. How long is this winter steelhead fishery viable for? Well, we've got that late winter run just now starting to show up, and so we're going to be in them from late February, March, April, and just about into May. Well, and if you want to go fishing for them and want to go with a guide on the Cowlitz, look up Bruce Warren. He's the owner of Fishing for Fun Guide Service. You can go to his website, fishingforfunguideservice.com. That's fishingforfunguideservice.com. Book a trip with Bruce. He's a great guide and a fun guy to spend a day on the water with. Bruce, thanks for telling us all about this. You bet, John. Great having you guys down here. Let's go fishing. Hey, we're talking to Lance Mers today with Max Lure Company about a brand new lure that's just slaying the trout out there on area lakes. It's the Smile Blade Spin Drift Trout Lure from Max Lure Company. Lance, what makes this lure so special?
Well, we've got our Max Lure patented Smile Blade, our high UV components, and the Spin Drift hook, which gives it a great corkscrew action in the water.
There you go, folks. All three components help you catch more fish. The Smile Blade Spin Drift Trout Lure, only from Max Lure Company.
Looking for a quality fishing adventure that won't break the bank? Then head to Canada for an all-inclusive fishing vacation with Chad's Coastwide Sports Fishing. Big salmon, halibut, snapper, and lingcod are waiting for you off Vancouver Island. But space is limited, so book now at coastwidesportsfishing.com. That's coastwidesportsfishing.com.
It's almost time for the best indoor-outdoor adventure show. Yes, it's the annual Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show. Coming soon, March 17th through the 20th at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center in Spokane. Backed by popular demand this year is Duck Dog, sponsored by Ziggy's Building Materials. Go online to bighornshow.com to see the competition schedule or to register your dog. Christy Titus will be on site doing the elk call demonstrations. Enter for your chance to win lunch with Christy Titus, plus tons more information at bighornshow.com.
Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. We're broadcasting from the Washington Sportsman Show in Puyallup. And if you come here, you're going to find that there's a building where there's all sorts of hunting dogs and lots of breeds I'm familiar with, but I ran across a breed that I have never seen in the field. It's a Gordon Setter. And it's here on the display with the Pacific Northwest Gordon Setter Club. With us here to tell us more about Gordon Setters and what kind of hunting dogs they are is proud owner of one here, George Joyner. George, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much.
So, George, beautiful, very calm dog you have here. Tell me about your Gordon Setter.
Well, the Gordon Setter that I bought to the show on Saturday here, his name is Ruff. He's 7 years old, and he has a AKC Junior Hunter title. He's a very methodical working bird dog. For some reason, whenever I take this dog hunting, I always come back with birds. It's as simple as that.
Well, it's a beautiful breed, and folks, it's basically a black and brown, coat of fur, kind of a medium-length fur dog. And this dog's probably, about 80 pounds?
Ruff's 90 pounds, yep. And he is originally bred from show lines, which accounts for the hairiness. But by taking him hunting repeatedly, I turned him into a bird dog. The light came on, and he developed a predatory instinct, and he's a good bird dog. I love hunting with him. He just gets it done.
So let's talk about the Gordon Setter as a breed originated over in the UK.
The Gordon Setter originated in Scotland. 4th Duke of Gordon is given credit for starting the breed in the 17th century. He said that he wanted a dog that he could hunt with successfully, and a dog that was good with the wee ones or the children, and a dog that he could brag about in the carriage house on Sunday morning.
Fair enough. And how did the Gordon Setter come to the shores of America?
The Gordon Setter, the first Gordon Setters that came to America were actually a gift to Daniel Webster. They're Rachel and Rake, and these dogs are brought to the United States in the early 1800s.
So I've got to ask, why don't we see more of this breed in the field?
I don't know, to be quite honest with you. I think that they're just an absolutely outstanding bird dog. If you go to field trials, the Gordon Setter is really underrepresented at field trials, and I think I know the answer why. Field trialers got away from the Gordon Setter back in the early 1900s because they discovered that the Gordon Setters, once that they changed hands, as field trialers will do, they'll sell dogs and swap dogs and what have you. They discovered that once a Gordon Setter changed hands 3 or 4 times, there's something happened to them mentally, and they just lost the ability to bond. Gordons bond fanatically with their first owners, and if they change hands one too many times, it messes them up.
Very interesting. So this is truly a one-owner dog, one-family dog.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the display that you have here, I'm seeing Gordon Setters with lots of upland birds, especially pheasants, and I've seen some chukar as well. What kind of dog are they to hunt behind? Are they pointers? Are they flushers? Do they work fast? Do they range far? What's the experience like hunting pheasant, hunting quail, hunting chukar with a Gordon Setter?
Well, speaking personally, I'm a foot hunter, so I need a dog that is going to work in fairly close, staying within gun range. If a dog gets out more than about 50 yards, I have to get him back. Now, that would be a liability to a horseback field trialer. A horseback field trialer needs a dog that's going to run out about 200 yards when he's released and then start hunting. That's very impractical for a foot hunter. So really what you have to do is pick a dog whose parents are either known for range and speed or close working, methodical work.
So you've got a dog then that's going to stay pretty close, works pretty methodically. How does it do in terms of the heavy brush? Is it willing to bust in there or not?
Depends on the dog's size. Ruff being 90 pounds, he's really bashful about going into blackberries. But smaller dogs, Gordons that run around 35 to 40 pounds, really don't have that much trouble with them. My other Gordon that I own, Blue runs about 55 to 60 pounds depending on the time of year. And all I have to do to get Blue into thick stuff is just point and tell him to go see. And he's just right in there with him.
Absolutely love this. All right, folks, you're listening to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We're talking to George Joyner. He's with the Pacific Northwest Gordon Setter Club about hunting with Gordon Setters, a breed that you, like me, may have never seen in the field before. But boy, beautiful dogs. Love the calm disposition of your dog in particular. Let's turn our attention to waterfowl. Now, do Gordon Setters, will they go in the water? Are they any good as a duck dog, as a goose dog?
I have heard of people using them to retrieve ducks. My personal experience with them is that they're sort of landlubbers. They really need a good reason to go into the water. A bird in the water generally does the trick. A ball or a stick, not so much.
So I would guess, by the same token, if they don't see the bird fall, if it's not a marked retrieve, they might be reluctant to go in the water and just seek instruction like you would, with a lab with a whistle trying to find the duck.
That's true. If a bird goes into the water and the dog doesn't see it splash down, it's a matter at that point of getting the dog's attention focused on the bird by sometimes literally holding his head and turning it toward the bird, or maybe throwing a rock out there next to it, something like that.
Well, I've done that plenty of times before for golden retrievers, for Springer Spaniels, and labs, so I guess this Gordon's no different than some of the dogs I've hunted with for ducks. All right, so we'll just go ahead and agree that maybe this breed is best for upland birds, but it'll do for ducks in a pinch. Is that fair to say?
That's pretty fair to say, yeah.
If people want to find out more about this breed, the Gordon Setter, you have a club here. Is there a website we can send people to?
Absolutely. The Pacific Northwest Gordon Setter Club's website is pnwgs.org.
And along the same lines, let's talk about what your club does. I'm guessing you have activities where Gordon Setter owners are getting together, and are you running some sort of field trials or anything like that?
We do run field trials and hunt tests, generally at least one field trial and hunt test per year. We have members that do a lot of different things with dogs. A lot of our members show, a lot of our members hunt. Some of our members are taking their dogs into agility competition and tracking competition. They can do it all, really. It's just a matter of training.
So there you go, folks. It's the Gordon Setter. If you're looking for a good family dog and a good upland dog and a good-looking dog, too, that's going to run anywhere from 35 to 90 pounds, and it's black and it's brown, go ahead and check out this website. That's pnwgs.org for the Pacific Northwest Gordon Setter Club. George, is there anything else you'd like to add?
We do have a rescue function for Gordon Setters as well. We have contacted literally every dog pound and animal shelter in British Columbia, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. And these people know to call us if they get a Gordon Setter that has either been found abandoned, or if someone turns them in for whatever reason, they're to call us first, and please don't euthanize the animal. Our rescue people will come and get the Gordon Setter. We will provide veterinary care. We'll provide temporary housing until we can find this dog a good, loving, forever home.
Well, there you go, folks. Again, the website one more time is pnwgs.org, pnwgs.org for the Pacific Northwest Gordon Setter Club. George, thanks for telling us about this beautiful breed and sharing this with our listeners on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Well, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to try to introduce this breed to people. They're just fantastic dogs. They're great family dogs. They're great hunting dogs. Can't say enough about them.
Leupold Gold Ring Optics are built to perform at the highest level, shot after shot, year after year. Our rifle scopes, binoculars, spotting scopes, rangefinders, and more always come through when you need them most. That's why our American-built products have a lifetime guarantee. Or as we like to say here at Leupold, they are guaranteed for a lifetime of performance, not a lifetime of replacement. Find out more about our top quality gear and our lifetime guarantee at Leupold.com. Leupold, America's optics authority.
The two-burner camp stove has evolved, and today's line of portable camp stoves from Camp Chef have come a long way from your father's propane stove, featuring matchless ignition, more cooking power, and in some cases a built-in grill or extra burner. And you've got what you need to whip up some great grub in the field. Look for the complete line of Mountain Series stoves at your local sporting goods store. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and it's time again for news and reports from the field. We've got good news for Columbia River salmon anglers from the Northwest Sport Fishing Industry Association, which reports biologists in both Oregon and Washington are predicting another good run of fall Chinook this year. The number being thrown out there is 950,000 upriver brights, which is less than last year's 1.3 million salmon. However, if the biologists are even close to being right, we're going to be in for another great season of kingfishing this autumn on both the Columbia and its tributaries. Roger Phillips with Idaho Fish and Game is asking all of you fish aquarium owners to not set your pet fish free in the wild. Recently, a Fish and Game employee spotted a couple of fish near Ann Morrison Park in southwest Idaho that looked like a crossbreed between a sculpin, a sturgeon, and a dinosaur. The fish in question were suckermouth catfish, commonly sold at pet stores and used for eating algae off the panes of an aquarium. They are tropical fish native to South America, not Lucky Peak Reservoir or the Boise River where they were likely set free. One of the dead fish found was 11 inches long. These aren't the only strange fish found in local waters. In recent years, pacu, tilapia, oriental weatherfish, goldfish, koi, soft-shell tortoise, and others have been caught or spotted in southwest Idaho. Oriental weatherfish have actually established populations in local waters, including the Weiser River, and are very hard to eradicate because they can survive in dried mud for part of the year. While it may seem harmless and even humane to dump unwanted fish or animals into the wild, it's not, and it's also illegal. Non-native fish and animals can harm native wildlife in its habitat. They compete for limited food and resources, prey on native fish, carry and transmit diseases, or just become nuisances. The suckermouth catfish serves as a reminder for people to never discard living things into the wild. So what should you do? Well, some pet stores will take unwanted fish and amphibians. You can also give them away to a responsible owner, or, as a last resort, they can be euthanized and properly disposed of. Whatever you do, though, don't put them into our Northwest waters. You aren't doing any of the fish in the wild any favors when you do. Speaking of illegally introducing fish, if you ever get the chance to go to Swan Lake in western Montana and go fishing, you might reel in something that doesn't belong there. Walleye were found in this scenic lake last October during a gill net sampling operation by Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. However, an analysis of the two walleye caught out of the lake shows they are not native to this body of water, meaning some bucket biologists dumped some in there. This story comes out of Montana, but illegal fish introductions of walleye, bass, perch, and panfish is a real problem all over the nation and can destroy native populations of trout, kokanee, and other fish that are native to the waters they are found in. If you see someone doing this, or hear someone bragging about dumping fish from a 5-gallon bucket into a lake they don't belong in, do us all a favor. Make a phone call and turn them in. It just may save your favorite fishing water if you do. Next on Northwestern Outdoors Radio, we're visiting with Wanda Clifford again. She is with the Inland Northwest Wildlife Council. She is also the woman that runs the Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show every year. It's taking place this year, March 17th through the 20th at the Spokane County Fairgrounds on Havana Street in the Spokane Valley. Wanda, great to have you back on the show.
Thanks, John. I can't believe a year's already gone back, and here we are again, getting ready for a new show.
I know, I can't believe it, but I'll tell you what, Wanda, this has always been one of my favorite shows. It's kind of the last show I attend, but it's a good-sized show. There's lots of vendors there, lots of stuff for the kids, and you always have some entertaining things every year that you roll out. Why don't you give our listeners a little more of a preview if they haven't been for a while?
Well, we are really excited this year. It's been probably 7 years since we brought this event to the show, and our people that attend the show, the public, has been asking and asking for it, so we finally have brought back Dock Dogs. And Dock Dogs, if you haven't seen Dock Dogs, of course, it's a dog jumping into the water event. People bring their dogs out, bring their favorite toy with them, and see how far that dog can travel, and it is simply entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
And they will be our big event this year again.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that myself. That has always been a favorite of mine. Now, for our listeners, especially those that have some, agile dogs, do they need to register in advance? How can they participate in this?
You can participate in this by going to the Bighorn Show website. You can also go to dockdogs.com, and on either site you will be able to pre-register for this event.
Wanda, how many exhibitors do you generally have every year at the Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show?
Every year it seems like our exhibitor list is growing, and proudly we are for that. We opened up a new building last year to make room for them all. And this year we have about 300 exhibitors with us.
Wow.
And outstanding exhibitors, John. I'm so excited about this year's show. We have more fishing guides, more hunting guides, more equipment, new equipment, people that have come up with some new exciting stuff that they're just excited to bring to the show to put out to the public. So probably I feel like it's one of the best shows that we've had facing us.
One of the things I like about this show is the mix of guides and outfitters and conservation organizations you have. You certainly have some that are right there in the inland Northwest, but if you want to book a trip to Canada, if you want to book a trip to Alaska or Montana, Idaho or Oregon, you have all of those opportunities at the Bighorn Show for both fishing and hunting. Absolutely love that. And something else I love is the emphasis you have on activities for the kids. Why don't you run through some of those real quick?
We really are. Our show is really family-friendly, and we really work on the Inland Northwest Wildlife Council. It is so important to us to get our kids into the outdoors and get them involved in all things outdoors. And so that relates within the show also. We have archery that they can shoot. We have fishing worlds that they can go out and catch a fish. We have a silver mine for the younger kids to go dig around in some dirt and find some prizes. So we try really hard to bring many different things into the event. I know something new this year for kids is Cabela's going to come in with a fun Nerf shooting gallery.
Oh!
So that'll be fun for the kids to give that a try. We also do a little event called the Adventure Passport, and you work your way around the show following the little map that we give them for the little treasure hunters in your family. And when they get done with the show, we present them with a little fun prize to take home. So we feel our youth is very important to us and to the show.
What are some of the seminars and other activities besides Dock Dogs that you're going to have available for the public?
We are going to have this year Christy Titus.
Oh, she is wonderful. Love that woman.
Yes, Christy Titus. We are just excited. Cabela's is bringing Christy Titus to the show for us this year. She will be signing autographs. She will also be doing some elk calling seminars for us. And she will also be, if you go to the Bighorn Show website, you can enter to win a one-on-one lunch catered by Longhorn Barbecue with Christy Titus.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've had the opportunity to meet Christy a couple of times. She is just an absolutely delightful woman and an accomplished elk huntress as well. If you haven't seen her on TV yet, go ahead and tune into Team Elk. It's sponsored by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. She does a wonderful job with that show. She also has a real heart for kids, too, so that's great to hear. We are starting to run short on time. Let's go ahead and run through the dates and the hours and then give out the website, too.
So the show is March 17th to March 20th. Thursday we are 12 to 8. Friday we are 12 to 8. Saturday we open at 10 to 8. And Sunday we run from 10 to 4. The website is thebighornshow.com. And you can also go, John, to a Facebook page, the Bighorn Show Facebook page also.
All right, so look them up on Facebook. That's The Bighorn Show, or look them up on the web at thebighornshow.com. Make plans to attend March 17th through the 20th, and drop by our Northwestern Outdoors radio booth, too. We will be giving away a $100 gift certificate for Max Lure Company and a Camp Chef Striker backcountry camp stove. All you have to do is just stop by, sign up for the Mac Attack, and you're entered for a chance to win. We're giving away both those items at the end of the show. Wanda, again, love the Bighorn Show. Can't wait to attend again and see you there. Thanks for telling our listeners all about it on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thanks, John.
The road is calling you to experience one of Oregon's 7 wonders, the Wallowas. So grab your camping equipment and fishing gear and head out to Northeast Oregon, where you'll find the views are endless, the air crisp and clean, and the water's cold and clear. Set up camp by the shores of Wallowa Lake or in the heart of the Wallowa-Whitman National Forest. Take your fishing gear and cast your bait into the deep waters of Wallowa Lake, or roll your fly into one of the eddies of the many freestone creeks and rivers teeming with fish. This summer, take the road that leads to wonders. It begins at WallowaCountyChamber.com.
Do you want to go fishing with an actual legend? You can. His name's Ed Iman. He will take you fishing for walleye, for sturgeon, for steelhead, and smallmouth bass on the Columbia River between the Dalles Dam and McNary Dam.
I'm Ed Iman, and I'd like to take you fishing on the mighty Columbia River.
That's Ed Iman. Give him a call at 541-298-3753. 541-298-3753. Go fishing with Ed at 541-298-3753.
Looking for a quality fishing adventure that won't break the bank? Then head to Canada for an all-inclusive fishing vacation with Chad's Coastwide Sports Fishing. Big salmon, halibut, snapper, and lingcod are waiting for you off Vancouver Island. But space is limited, so book now at coastwidesportsfishing.com. That's coastwidesportsfishing.com.
It doesn't matter what sort of adventure you're after. Whether it's big game deep in the backcountry, a day of fishing out on the water, or an overnight in the great outdoors. At Sportsman's Warehouse, we've got the gear in here for what you need out there. Gear up for your next adventure at one of the Sportsman's Warehouse stores or shop online. Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter.
Backcountry hunters and anglers, the men and women working hard to keep public lands in public hands. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
One more time this week for Northwestern Outdoors Radio with John Cruz.
Let's run through some upcoming events together, and we'll start off with Sportsman Shows. Central Oregon Sportsman Show runs through Sunday at the Deschutes County Fairgrounds in Redmond. Always a great show. I've been to this one a couple times and enjoyed it. Pretty sure you will too. And if you're in the market for an RV, there's going to be like 400 or 500 of them there that you can check out. The Great Rockies Show lands at the Adams Center at the University of Montana in Missoula this coming Saturday and Sunday, the 12th and 13th. And then the Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show that you heard about is taking place March 17th through the 20th at the Spokane County Fairgrounds. As you heard from Wanda Clifford earlier in the show, there's a whole bunch to see and do at that one. We'll be there too, and I hope you'll drop by our booth and sign up for a chance to win the $100 gift certificate from Max Lure Company and Striker Backcountry Camp Stove from Camp Chef we'll be giving away. There's quite a few free seminars taking place at Sportsman's Warehouse stores around the Northwest. One of them that caught my attention was at the Puyallup store. It's taking place Friday, March 11th from 2 to 3 p.m. It's all about crappie fishing. You'll find out what local lakes they're found in and how to catch them. If you want to get into archery, head to the Hillsboro store Saturday, March 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. Not only will you learn the basics of archery, you'll even get a chance to shoot a bow and arrow at the store. Also next Saturday, a Reloading 101 class is taking place in the Lewiston store from 12 to 2 p.m. Stephen Malberg will be giving you an entry-level course for reloading pistol ammunition. And now it's time for our trivia question of the week, where we give away a $25 gift card from Sportsman's Warehouse. Here's your question. These dark-colored clams, commonly found on rocks and pilings, are a little strong for my taste, but they are a popular meal in Europe and also for some folks right here in the Northwest. As for me, I tend to use the meat for bait when I'm fishing for piling or surf perch. What kind of clam am I talking about here? You can give us your answer on our Facebook page at Northwestern Outdoors Radio. Simply like our page, find the post, and just give us your answer there. Or you can go to our website. It's northwesternoutdoors.com. Go to the Contact Us page and let us know what kind of clam we're talking about here. Everyone who guesses correctly is entered for a chance to win that $25 gift card we give away every week. The Facebook page again, Northwestern Outdoors Radio, and the website, northwesternoutdoors.com. While you're on the web, be sure to tune in to WRVO Radio. You'll find it at RenoViolaOutdoors.com. It's an internet radio station dedicated to outdoors programming 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We are part of the lineup there, have been for some time, and we're one of over 30 outdoor shows that you can tune into. The website again, RenoViolaOutdoors.com. That's all for this week. As you can tell, spring is right around the corner, and that means there's a whole lot of fun things to do outside. So until next time, take care, God bless, and make it a point to spend some time outdoors.